Hello students, in this video I am going to teach you graphs. You know graph is very important one because 8 mark, right? There are three types of graphs, three types of questions they can ask. So we are going to cover this entire graph in two videos. The first video I am going to teach you the basic types, and the second one we do some advanced questions. Okay, so listen very carefully. So this is one of the very important topic. Now don't think it is only for 8 mark. Those students, those are aiming for centum, don't think they won't ask any 1 mark, 2 mark from this. There are possible questions. So everything I am going to teach you in this video. Okay, so be attentive and listen this. Quadratic graph we are going to study here, right? Quadratic graph. So quadratic graph, how the graph will be, you are familiar with that. Suppose you throw a stone, it goes up and falls on the ground. Just imagine the path of the stone, or you throw a ball, it goes up and falls on the ground. You can see in the screen how it goes, right? If you see it goes up and falls on the ground like inverted U, right? Like intersection type, right? So you can move it in any direction, upside down, it goes like U, right? Or this shape we call it as parabola. This we call it as parabola. Okay, now quadratic function represents a parabola, or you can say parabola represents a quadratic function. For objective question they can ask this one, so you can go through that. And what is the quadratic function? F of x equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where a not equal to 0. Now listen, already I said they can ask 1 mark, 2 mark questions, right? What are the 1 mark, 2 mark questions? They can ask to find the axis. Also they can ask you to find vertex. So there are two formulas. From the question you can identify the values of ABC, right? ABC means what? The coefficient of x square is A, coefficient of x is B, and the and the constant term is what? C. And now these are the two formulas you have to study. You can see in the screen. Axis is given by x equal to minus b by 2a, and vertex is given by minus b by 2a comma minus delta by 4a, where delta is equal to b square minus 4ac. Now listen here, what are the uses of this quadratic graph? There are two uses. One, this graph determines the nature of roots. Nature of roots you know, right? There are three types of roots. Roots are real and distinct, roots are real and equal, and the roots are not real. So that you can find using graph. And the second one, you can solve a quadratic equation using this quadratic graphs. To find the nature of roots, already you studied in another method using discriminant, right? What is discriminant? Delta is equal to b square minus 4ac. When delta is greater than 0, roots are real and distinct. Distinct means they are unequal. If delta is equal to 0, the roots are real and equal. And when delta is less than 0, roots are not real. Not real, we call it as unreal or imaginary. Now listen here, and the second use is solving equation. So solving a quadratic equation, already you studied three types. One is factorization method. Second one, completing the square method. Third one, quadratic formula, minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a, right? And the last one, graphical method, that is what we are going to study today. If a quadratic equation is given, how to solve it using graph. Also, how to find nature of the root, this is what we are going to study. Just to give a brief description how the graph will be. You can see the screen. If you get a curve like this, can you identify how many places the curve cuts x-axis? Don't worry about y-axis. It cuts x-axis at two places, right? So this equation has two solutions. So the graph cuts two places. The roots are real and distinct. The roots are real and distinct. So this is one type. Sometimes when you draw the graph, you may get like this. It touches x-axis at only one point. Here it touches at 2. So roots are real and equal. The roots are 2 and 2. And the last one, it does not touch x-axis, not cutting x-axis. It may cut y-axis. So in this case we say there is no solution. So these are the three types. So when you draw the graph, you are going to get something like this, okay? So, and I'm going to give how to verify, and I'm going to give you some tips, okay? So now listen here. Some important, before doing the sums, I'll give you some tips how to check it, okay? So the question may be, solve some quadratic equation they give. Some quadratic equation they give. What the first step, what you do now? You take this LHS as y. Y equal to, write this. Now then you have to draw the tabular column, right? So x and the x square and all, right? Then finally write y, right? So here what you do, I'll give some hint for this. Normally what we do now, we start with minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, like that we write up to 4. Then we draw the diagram. Sometimes we need some extra steps and all, right? Some extra values you need. So to avoid all these things, first you try to solve the equation separately. In a rough column you do that. If it may be a very simple equation only, already you studied in, factorization method. Some method you try to solve this. Suppose your answer is, say, suppose you are getting minus 2 and 3. You are supposed to get the final answer as what? Minus 2 and 3. So definitely x you need minus 2, also you need 3. In that case you can start with minus 3 because minus 2 is the answer, right? If you start with minus 2, then the graph will be like this, minus 2 to 3. Okay, it will be like this. But we want some more point here, right? It should go, then only you get a neat diagram. So at least 1 point this side, minus 3. Somewhere you get, then here after 3, 1 more point. So you'll get a neat diagram. So you'll get a hint, right? So this is a solution. So minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, like that. 3 is the answer. So after 3, at least 1 point extra. But suppose the answer is only 3, 3. It is possible, the diagram, you may get, the curve will be like this. In that case, no, don't start from minus 4, minus 3, now you are wasting time, right? You are going to get the answer as 3. So you start with just from 0, that's enough. So no need for all these things. You can start with 0, 1, 2, 3. After that, at least 1 or 2, enough. 4, 5. So these are some hints, okay? Then, here mainly the calculation, right? Calculation part you have to be very careful. So in the calculation, if you make some mistake, you won't get proper curve, right? But you can identify. See, you find the table first. Then after getting the table, you plot the points, right? When you plot the points, before drawing the curve, you check how the points are. Listen, so when you plot the points, suppose you get something like this, yes, it is correct. Okay, you are going to get the correct diagram. But sometimes, suppose the points you get like this, then you will get something like this. By seeing this, you can understand, yes, there is a mistake, right? This point should have come somewhere here, right? Then you will get the diagram. So what you can do, that calculation, you can check it again. That calculation alone, you check it, make it right. So this is something you have to be very careful. The first question, solve graphically x square plus x plus 7 equal to 0. Look at this question. Already I said there are totally 3 type questions. One type, they may ask find the nature of roots. There also you have to do the same thing only. We can find the solution. We draw the graph, you say the nature of the root. Okay, both I am going to tell you in this sum also. First step, what do you do now? You check whether it is given in the correct order. Correct order means x square, x constant equal to 0. It is in the correct order, right? So now you take the left side as what? Y. Let y equal to x square plus x plus 7. Y equal to x square plus x plus 7. Then the tabular column. So first we write x. X, I am starting with minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Leave some space. If there is a need, you can add it. Okay. Then you need x square. Then plus x plus 7. Then when you add all these, you will get y. When you add all this, you will get what? Y. So this is the tabular column. Listen, when you fill this, first one is x square, right? X square. First time is x square. Second time is plus x. If it is minus x, you write here minus x. Then it is plus 7. Write here plus 7. Now listen, x square. Square everything. So minus 3 square. So if you want, you can draw lines here. Minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. When you square, minus 3 square, everything, when you square, everything become positive. 2 square, 1 minus 1 square, 0, 1, 4, 9, right? X, write it as it is. If it is 3x, multiply everything by 3. If it is minus 2x, multiply everything by minus 2. So here it is x, so write as it is. Minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Last one is 7, it is independent of x. It's a constant, right? So write that constant as it is. 7, you write 7. So if it is minus 2, you write minus 2, minus 2, minus 2 like that. Now y we have to find. What is y? Sum of all the three, right? So these three you add and write here, and that is y, right? Add this, what you get, you see here 9 minus 3, 6. 6 plus 7, 13. Here 7 minus 2, it is 5. 5 plus 4, 9. 1 and minus 1 cancel, 7. 0, 0, 7. So 7. Here you are getting 9. Here 9 plus 4, 13. 10, 19, right? So this is x value, this is y value. But you don't use two colors and all. Use only pen. You can draw the lines using pencil. Writing work, you can use pen, okay? Now listen this. So the ordered pairs, minus 3, 13. The first point is x comma y. Minus 3, 13. Minus 2, 9. Minus 1, 7. 0, 7. 1, 9. 2, 13. 3, 19. These points you plot in the graph. So when you draw the graph, you have to be very careful. The basic things I will tell you first. So you draw lines along the thick lines. So x-axis, okay. Now normally we draw x-axis in the middle, right? X-axis. Name it as x dash. Arrow marks you put. Arrow marks, and you put capital X dash. Here capital Y dash. Y-axis you draw along the middle line, right? Along the thick line you draw in the middle. X-axis, please listen. Don't draw in the middle. Sometimes what they do know in the graph sheet, they draw x-axis, they draw y-axis. Nothing wrong in that. But you see in this case, y values, you see there is no negative values at all. There is no negative. So you are not going to get any graph here, any curve here, right? So you will be getting all the positive values only, okay? So you may get something like this. We are not going to get anything here. So what you can do, this x-axis you can draw something like this. Some questions, lot of negative values will be there. So there is very few positive values. Then if you want more negative values, so here you can give more space, you can draw like that. Okay, so all these things, because once it's drawn, then you cannot rub. So to very carefully this one. Okay, now listen, here I drawn not in the middle, slightly lower part I drawn because there is no negative values, okay. And y value you see, then the another important thing is scale. X, all these things they give mark. Okay, so you will be very, very careful when you do the graph. X-axis 1 centimeter, 1 unit, always you take like that. Y-axis, see the values. Here we have up to 13 we have. If we are able to give 1, 2, 3, 4, 13 is okay. Better here 30, 19 all there, right? So I am giving y-axis alone 1 centimeter, 2 units. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 like that. Below that minus 2, minus 4, etc. Okay, now we plot these points. First one is minus 3, 13. Minus 3, 13. Minus 3, 13. 12, 14 between that, right? So minus 3, 13. That point is minus 3, 13. Second one is minus 2, 9. Minus 2, 9. Minus 2, 9. Between 8 and so in the graph sheet you can do very easily. minus 2, 9. Then minus 1, 7. Minus 1, 7. Between 6 and 8, right? So minus 1, 7. Then the next one is 0, 7. 0, 7. 0, 7. Then 1, 9. 1, 9. Then 2, 13. 2, 13. Then 3, 19. 3, 19. If you can, you mark it. Now these points you have to join. So please listen carefully. Suppose when you get the point, so you need a lot of practice, then only sometimes the graph will be like this. So when you draw, okay, you'll get a curve like this, right? But sometimes you may have two values like this. So how can you draw the graph? Don't draw like this. Okay, don't draw like. So what you can do, both the points are here only, but you draw like a curve. Okay, slightly can come down and do the. Here it just comes like that, right? Here, see, this is one point. Here one. Then here we have one. So when you draw the graph, you draw a smooth curve. So the curve will be like this. Now solution you should say, right? Now we have come to the last part. After drawing the curve, now you can write the solution. What is solution? You say where it cuts x-axis. Where it cuts x-axis? It is not cutting x-axis. If it cuts x-axis at 2 points, we say there are two solutions. That the points where it cuts are solution, right? If it touches at only 1 point, what do you say? That point is the solution. But here nature, if they ask, what do you say? It is not cutting x-axis, so we say the roots are not real. So the final answer is the given equation has no real solution. The reason is because it is not touching x-axis. Now we see the next question. Solve graphically x square minus 9 equal to 0. Very simple question. Look at the board. X square minus 9 equal to 0. So already we did one sum. I think you can go a little fast, right? We take it is the correct form, but you know one value is missing. But now itself you know the answer, right? What's the answer you are supposed to get? X square minus 9, 0. X square minus 9, 0. So x square is equal to 9. X is equal to root 9 plus 3 and minus 3. Plus 3 and minus 3. So this is the answer you are supposed to get. You know, now itself you know there minus 3 and plus 3. Minus 3 and plus 3. So the curve will cut like this, right? Minus 3 and plus 3. Some curve will get like this. Already I said, see, parabola, it may be like this. Sometimes it may be like this also. Sometimes when you, in the exam hall, when you plot the points, you may get all the points like this. Then you will wonder, right? Because you have to practice all the graphs like this. So I'll tell you, when you get this type parabola, if x square sign is minus, if it is minus x square plus something or minus 7x square, if the x square term is negative, you will get the inverted curve. Okay, because sometimes they will ask you, if they ask you to solve, okay, you can change the sign, no problem. But if they ask you to draw the graph of y equal to minus 2x square, something like this, definitely the graph will be like this, because x square coefficient is negative. Okay. Now listen to this question. We take this part as y. So y equal to x square minus 9. Table of column is very simple. You know, minus 3 plus 3. So we start with minus 4. Minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, one value extra. Next we want x square. Then minus 9. Then total it is y. First x square, right? X square. So square every term. When you square every term become positive. 16, 9, 4, 1, 0, 1, 4, 9, 16. Minus 9 constant. So write minus 9. Add it. Add it 0. If you add it, you will get minus 5. Here minus 8. Here minus 9. Here again minus 8. Here you will get minus 5. Here again 0. Here 7, right? Here another hint I am giving you. Where you know the solution, right? Minus 3 and 3 are solution. So minus 3 and 3, in that two places the answers will be zeros. Or wherever you get 0, that will be the answer, okay? Sure. Now we see the graph. You know, when you draw the graph, you have to draw x-axis, y-axis. Already I said arrow marks. Capital X dash, capital Y dash. Here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Here maximum we have 8, 9 only. So you can give scale. X-axis 1 centimeter 1 unit, y-axis also 1 centimeter 1 unit. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like that. Here minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. So you can draw more. The first point is minus 4, 7. Minus 4, 7. Minus 3, 0. Minus 3, 0. This one. Minus 3, 0. This is the first one. That is minus 4, 7. And this is minus 3, 0. This point. And minus 2, minus 5. Minus 2, minus 5. Minus 2, minus 5. Minus 1, minus 8. Minus 1, minus 8. Minus 1, minus 8. And 0, minus 9. For 0, it is minus 9. Then 2, minus 5. For 1, minus 8. For 1, it is minus 8. So minus 9, then minus 8. The previous one comes like this, right? But here not like it comes here. Then 2, it is minus 5. 2, minus 5. 3, 0. This point, 3, 0. Then 4, 7. 4, 7. See the points again? These are the points. Here one point, then the next point is here, 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 right? Now you join all these using a freehand diagram, so that you practice more. So then only you will get neat diagram you need. Okay, so you practice well, so you can do. Okay, so graph. So your convenient way you keep the graph and you can draw. Okay. Practice. Otherwise, just do so many times if you rub, so you should not spoil the sheet also, right? So practice well. And the equation also you write here. What is the equation? What's the equation? Y equal to x square minus 9. So that somewhere you write here y equal to x square minus 9. The previous one is the curve. It goes like something like this. In that case, we say there is no real solution, right? Here the curve cuts at two places. So listen very carefully how to write the final answer. If they ask you find the nature of the roots, you see where it cuts x-axis. It cuts x-axis at 2 points. So there are two roots, right? Both the roots are real and they are distinct. So you have to say the roots are real and distinct. But if they ask you to solve it, same thing, everything is okay. If they ask you to solve it, you say what are the solution? Minus 3 and 3. You can say x is equal to minus 3 and 3. Like that you can say. Or you can write it as solution set. In the set means you don't put like this. It is wrong. You should not write. If you write like this is x value, this is y value. Don't write it as an ordered pair. Solution set means you write the set bracket. Minus 3, 3. Okay. But you know, if you write as a set, value should not be repeated. Suppose your answer is 3 and 3. You should write only 1, 3. But here it is minus 3 and 3. So you can write the answer like this or like this. If it is a nature, you have to say the roots are real and distinct. So your final answer is, the solution is roots are real and unequal. Or you can say the solution set is minus 3, 3. Now the third question, solve graphically x square minus 6x plus 9 equal to 0. X square minus 6x plus 9 equal to 0. Question may be solve or something they'll ask you find the nature of the roots, right? Already I said for both the cases everything same, table, column, graph. When write the final answer only, we have to be write what they asked. Okay, so listen carefully. So first step, what do? You take the LHS as y. Is it the correct order? Yes, it is the correct order. So y equal to x square minus 6x plus 9. Now next table or column, already I said if possible you solve and check first. So you can solve it very easily. Sum is minus 6, product is 9. Sum is minus 6, product is 9. So the numbers are minus 3 and minus 3. Since the coefficient is 1, x minus 3 into x minus 3 equal to 0. So you know x is equal to 3 and 3 are the solution. So when you draw the graph, you know 3, right? Repeated root. So 3 is somewhere here. The graph will be like this. But this and all in a rough work you can do this. So you get some idea. So 3 is the solution you are supposed to get. So in that case you no need to start from minus 4, right? Minus 4, why you are wasting time? So you can start 3 is the answer. You can start with 1 or you can start with 0. After 3 you find 1 point or 2 points. That's enough. So in this case I am going to start with 0 only. So I am starting with first x, then x square minus 6x 9, then y. For x we are giving the values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In between better you don't draw lines. If you draw lines everywhere, sometimes what we will do now, we add everything. Even the first number also, suppose if we have a minus 4, easily we cancel it, right? So don't do that. Better you leave so that you won't make mistakes. Okay, try to minimize the errors. I'm doing like this. First x square, square everything. 0 square, 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square. Minus 6x. So this x values you multiply by minus 6. So minus 6 into 0, minus 6 into 1, minus 6 into 2, minus 6 into 3, minus 6 into 4, minus 6 into 5. Then 9 is a constant, write as it is. So now add it. What are these three values you add? 9. Here 9 plus 1, 10 minus 6, 4. 9 plus 4, 13 minus 12, 1. 18 minus 18, 0. Yes, already I said no. So that is the answer you are supposed to get. And here 16 plus 9, 25 minus 24, it is 1. 25 minus 30, minus 5, minus 5 plus 9, minus 5 plus 9, it is 4. So the points are 0, 9. You can write that also. 0, 9, 1, 4, 2, 1, 3, 0, 4, 1, 5, 4. Okay, so these are in this one. Then in the graph sheet, you know, first we draw x-axis, arrow mark x dash, y dash, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Here you can take up to 5. Y values maximum 9 only. So I am taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So x-axis 1 centimeter 1 unit, y-axis also 1 centimeter 1 unit. First one is 0, 9. X value 0, y value 9. 0, 9. This point 0, 9. Second one 1, 4, 1, 4. 1, 4. Then 2, 1, 2, 1. 3, 0. This point 3, 0. 4, 1, 4, 1. 5, 4. 5, 4. So these are the points. So join them to freehand curve. And the equation also you can write y equal to, don't write this one, y value. Y is equal to x square minus 6x plus 9. Up to this, it is common, whether they ask nature of roots or solution. But now, what's the nature of the root? The curve touches x-axis at one point, right? So the roots are real and equal. What is the solution? X is equal to 3, 3. So the solution is, the nature is what? Roots are real and equal. And the solution, if they ask, you can say x is equal to 3, 3, repeated root. But if you write as solution set, if you write solution set, the set bracket you write repeated root, so write only one time. So the final answer is roots are real and equal and the solution set is 3. Okay, before going for the next sum, I'll tell you where to do the graph calculation. In the school exams and all, they would have given graph sheet separately, right? Additional sheet separately. So you would have written somewhere and you tied. Sometimes the calculation you would have done on the back of graph sheet. Some students calculation in one page, then in the last page graph. So for the public examination, how to do? Now there they won't give sheet separately, they'll give as a booklet. They'll give as a booklet, so a lot of pages will be there. And it's somewhere the graph sheet will be there. Graph sheet will be somewhere here, okay? So everything will be pinned. So what you can do, graph is there, don't do the calculations back. So if you want to do graph here, it calculation you show here. So while the teachers are correcting, it will be easy, right? So don't do some graph anyhow, you cannot take it out, right? It will be here only. Calculation don't do somewhere else. So adjacent to that, you do the calculation. Don't do any other sum here. Only the graph calculation and the neat graph here. Okay, so this is how you have to do for the examination. If you do in the back side, suppose if you make some mistake, you erase, right? So don't spoil the sheet. Okay, so this is how you have to follow. Okay, now we go for the last question, one more question of this type. Solve graphically 2x minus 3 into x plus 2 equal to 0. Solve 2x minus 8. So you can see something different in this question, right? In the previous question, x square term, but here it is factorized form. But something is very easy here, right? To find the solution is very easy because already it is the factorized form. You know the answer now itself. What are the answers? Either x plus 2 0. X plus 2 0 means x is equal to minus 2. So one answer is x is equal to minus 2. Another answer is 2x minus 3 0. 2x minus 3 0. So 2x is equal to 3. X is equal to 3 by 2. So the answer is minus 2 and 3 by 2. Minus 2. Minus 2. 3 by 2. 3 by 2 means 1.5, right? It will be here. So you will be very careful in this because see 1 is here, 2 is here. So we are not getting this point, right? You will get a point here, you will get a point here. You have to join. When you draw the graph, you from here to here, it is not a, you are not going to use scale, right? So the point, so when you are going to draw a curve, so when you draw the curve, it may go, you can join like this, you can join like this, right? You can join like this also. It cuts at many places, but if you know the answer, you can do it very carefully. You know you are supposed to get the answer as what? 1.5. So 1 is here, 2 is here, you will get a point here, you will get a point here, 1, 2, 1.5 is here, right? So you draw neatly. Otherwise even 0.1, 0.2, some difference may be there, okay? These are some hints. Okay, now listen here. First step, just expand it. 2x into x, 2x square plus 2 2s are 4, 4x. Minus 3x minus 6. Like terms you simplify, 2x square plus x minus 6 equals 0. Now it is like previous questions, you know that. So we take the LHS as y. So y equal to 2x square plus x minus 6. Okay. Now see the table of, you already know the answers. Okay. So I am starting from only minus 3 to 2 here. So x value minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0. Now listen here, 2x square is there. No, to be very careful. So first you find x square. The previous assumption we got only x square. So 2x square. So don't try to find 2x square directly. So if you do, okay, but see that if you make a small mistake, then a lot of time you have to waste, right? You can identify whether it's correct or not. Once you identify it's wrong, then you check again what mistake you made. So better one step extra, doesn't matter, do it very carefully. First you write x square, then 2x square. 2x square means 2 into x square. Already got x square, multiply everything by 2. Then plus x value, just write as it is, minus 6. But while adding, y we are finding, right? Y is equal to only 2x. So only from here, so you draw a line here, so that you won't make mistake. Already I said don't draw line somewhere in between. Okay, so y is a sum of these 3 only. So add only these 3. Okay, so if you draw lines here you won't make mistake. Add only these 3 values, you will get this one. Then plot these points. Minus 3, 9. Minus 3, 9. Minus 2, 0. Minus 2, 0. Minus 1, minus 5. Minus 1, minus 5. 0, minus 6. 0, minus 6. Then 1, minus 3. 1, minus 3. 2, 4. 2, it is 4. Here only I said, listen, very few points, right? Here one point, then here one point, here one, here we have a point, then here, then the point is here. So join these. Now here, then this point is here. Here only I said. So joining this point is for long distance. We are not using scale. So you can make some mistakes. So be very careful. That's what I said. The answer is 1.5. So keep that in your mind and do that. Okay, so 1.5. So the curve is y equal to 2x square plus x minus 6. Okay. So these are your answers. So here, what's the solution you write here? What's the solution? What's the nature of the root? It cuts at 2 places, right? It cuts at 2 places. So the roots are real and distinct. If they are nature of the roots, you say roots are real and distinct. If they are solution, it is minus 2 and 3 by 2, right? 1.5 or 3 by 2. 1.5 also you can write. X is equal to, or solution set you can write, using set bracket you can write. Nature of the roots, you know. So the final answer is roots are real and unequal, and the solution set is minus 2 comma 3 by 2. So hope you understood. So I think we did 4 questions, and based on this you can try these questions. Here I have given 5 questions. You try to work it out. You can pause and copy down these questions. Okay, so you try these questions. So this first step, I think you will be familiar with this. Okay, then in the next video, advanced type, that is the last step. What is that? You know, draw the graph of one equation and solve some other equation using that. Draw the graph of one curve, draw the graph of one curve, using that curve solving some other equation. Okay, so that type we'll see in the next video.